All right, guys, it's 10 o'clock, so we're gonna get started. My name is Hallie, if you don't know me already, and this is a mindful body weight fusion workout. So what we're gonna be doing is really trying to take time to get in tune with our body here at the beginning of class, tune into our breath, to our level of engagement and tension that we can create, and I'll be guiding you through a tension building drill here in the beginning. And then we're going to get into some active mobility work, dynamic warm up, and then we have a cardio circuit that we'll be doing, which has some martial arts inspired movement with some plyometric type work. And we're going to get pretty nice and sweaty. So I hope you came here to move and came here to, just get in tune with yourself and move your body dynamically. So what you're gonna do is start with your feet hips width distance and just bring your arms down by your side, palms facing forward. Okay, so what I want you to do is take a few moments to tune into your breath and just tune into your physical self here in this present moment. So take a few nice deep inhales into the belly, long exhales out of the mouth. So we're going to try to breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So take your time to establish a rhythm of breath for yourself, elevating your posture here as much as you can. And find a sense of grounding down through both feet as you reach up through the top of your head. Okay, we'll take 2 more breaths here in this nice tall posture, just taking a few more moments to tune in with ourselves. Good, 1 more big breath in. And a nice long exhale out. Awesome, so now we're gonna start to build up tension. I want you to bring your hands into fists, squeeze them nice and tight. Imagine you have a yoga block between your thighs and you're gonna squeeze your inner thighs and engage them together. Squeeze and engage your glutes, brace your abs, and I want you to get to what feels like 25% of your potential maximum tension for today. So it's just a little bit of tension, but see if you can really engage from your feet all the way up your body through the crown of your head. Take 1 more breath here at your 25%. And then on your exhale, you're gonna ramp it up to 50% of your full body tension. So you're gonna get to what feels like half of your max. Things might start to feel a little more heated. Making sure that we're engaging all of our body. Take 1 more breath here. And then on your next exhale, we're gonna ramp it up to your 75% of your maximum. So this will start to feel like you're in a standing plank. You might start to really feel heated in your abdominal wall. Really try to engage all of the places a little more firmly. Take 1 more breath here at 75. And then exhale, ramp it up to your maximum. So this is your 100% maximum effort. Really squeezing and engaging all of those places that we talked about, bracing your abs like you're in a standing plank, squeeze those butt cheeks, tighten your fists even a little bit more. Take 1 more breath here at your max. And then on your next exhale, we're gonna go back down to your 75%. So take it down a little bit. Still pretty heated in the body. Take 1 more breath here at 75. And then exhale, releasing back down to 50%. Take a few breaths here. Notice how you might feel a little bit more light, a little bit more soft. Take 1 more breath. And then bring it down to your 25%. So just your light amount of tension. We're gonna hold here at 25%. Bring your arms up to a wide V position. So your fists are a little wider than your shoulders. And we're gonna move through some scapula cars. So for these, you're gonna start by squeezing your shoulder blades together onto your spine. Good, squeeze them back as much as you can. And then keep squeezing back as you glide them up toward your ears and your fists will follow. Good, then keep them up as you protract and push your shoulder blades and your fists forward. And then keep protracting as you glide down away from ears. Good, just 2 more in that direction. I'm gonna turn sideways so you guys can see my shoulder blades. Okay, keeping your abs braced, squeeze shoulder blades together. Draw them up toward your ears. Then push and protract forward. And then glide down. 1 more like that. Squeeze back. Find as much retraction as you can. Keep the rib cage pulled in though. Glide up toward your ears. Protract forward. Glide down. Good. Pause in that depressed protraction. We're going to reverse for 3 rounds. So you're going to glide up toward your ears. Squeeze back onto your spine in that elevation. Keep squeezing them together as you glide your scalps down your back. Okay, 2 more like that. Protract. Glide up. Squeeze back. Glide down. 1 more time. Try to smooth it out. Protract. Glide up. Squeeze back and together. Glide down. Protract. And rest. Nice. Go ahead, just shake that out. Awesome. We're going to go right into some hip cars, and we're going to do these standing today, guys. So I recommend putting your hand on something so it can help you balance, maybe a wall or a chair. I have my little bookshelf here. So I'm going to put my hand on this. I'm going to start on my right leg, reaching my right arm straight out in front of my shoulder, and we're going to activate that protraction of the shoulder blade again to help keep the rib cage pulled down and in. Now from here, you're going to shift your weight onto your left leg and start to lift your right knee up, getting into your maximum hip flexion. Pull that knee up, toes are up to the shin, get it as high as possible. Take 1 more breath here. And then keep the hip flexion as you abduct your hip, meaning you're going to try to drive your leg out to the side. Once you can't get it any further to the side, you're going to start to drop it down about 1 inch or 2. And then we're going to internally rotate through the hip, trying to turn and drive our heel back behind us. And you'll keep internally rotating that hip as you really drive your knee behind you, and it's going to come down underneath your hip into your hip extension. Hold here. Good. Take 1 more breath. Really squeeze your calf to your hamstring. Try to drop your tailbone down as you kick your heel back. Take 1 more inhale. And then keep the internal rotation, and you're going to drive your leg back out to the side, lifting the outside of your knee up as high as you can. Once you can't get it any higher, you're going to externally rotate through your hip and start to really lift your knee up to the ceiling again. Pull it up as high as you can. Bring it all the way in front of your chest, and then lower it down. Nice, guys. I'm just going to turn around. We're going to do the other side for 1 rep before we do another rep. So we'll alternate, okay? So standing on your right leg now, bring your left hand in front. Make sure you have that support for yourself. Shift your weight into your right leg. And now drive your left knee up toward the ceiling into as much hip flexion as you can. Really brace your abs, full body tension. Now start to lift and drive that knee out to the left, abducting your hip. From there, once you can't get it any further to the side, you're going to drop your knee down about 1 inch or 2, and then start to internally rotate your hip. Now keep internally rotating your hip as you drive your knee and femur back in space. You're going to get to your hip extension, fully internally rotated, dropping your tailbone down, pulling the rib cage in. Knee comes underneath you, hold. Take another breath here as you try to push your heel back and squeeze your calf to your hamstring. Drop your tailbone down a little more. Take 1 more breath. On your exhale, keep the internal rotation as you drive your leg up out to the side. Try to lift the outside of the knee up as high as you can. Once you can't get it any higher, start to externally rotate through your hip. Bringing your leg forward, driving your knee up toward the ceiling now. Hold. Keep the hip flexion as you drive the leg all the way back in front of you. And lower down. Nice. We're going to do 1 more rep on each side and just a little bit faster, okay? So I'm not going to give as many cues. I'm just going to name the positions and just try to move through it nice and smoothly. Here we go. Starting on your Standing leg's your left leg. Right leg is your moving leg. Bring your right hand up. Start to move into your hip flexion. Pull that knee up as high as you can. Once you can't get it up any higher, abduct. Good. Then drop the knee down a little bit. Internally rotate. And start to reach that heel back. Finding your fullest hip extension that you can. Squeeze your heel to your butt cheek. Drop your tailbone down. Hold for a breath. Now keep the internal rotation. Exhale, start to lift the knee back up out to the side. Once you can't get it any higher, externally rotate through your hip. Drive your knee up toward the ceiling. Keep pulling it up as you bring it all the way back into your hip flexion in front of you and lower down. Awesome. Turn back around for the left leg again. One last rep of these hip cars. Here we go. Find your position. Brace your abs. Full body tension and engagement. And now start to lift that left knee up as high as you can. Get to your maximum hip flexion. Now abduct out to the side, hold. Drop it down a little bit and start to internally rotate through your hip. Keep internally rotating as you drive your knee and your femur behind you. Really squeeze your calf to your hamstring, heel to butt, hold. Drop your tailbone down a little bit. Push back a little bit more, inhale. Exhale, drive your knee back out to the side in that internal rotation. Try to lift it as high as you can. Then start to externally rotate. Keep externally rotating, pull that knee up as high as possible, and then slowly bring it back in front of your chest and lower down. Nice. All right, guys, we're gonna come down onto hands and knees. Okay. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We're gonna go through just 2 slow rounds of segmented cat-cow before we move into our dynamic warm-up. So from here, curl your toes under, round your spine as much as you can, really driving away the floor with both hands, protracting both scaps, dropping tailbone down. From here, send your tailbone up and go vertebrae by vertebrae, waving slowly up your spine. Chest will begin to open as your rib cage reaches toward the floor. Push out of the shoulders and lift your head up last. Take an inhale here. Exhale. And then drop your tailbone down slowly, articulating up vertebrae by vertebrae. Take your time as you get all the way back into your full flexion of your spine. Good, and we've got one more breath here in flexion. Big exhale, try to round a little bit more. And then one more rep, articulating from your tailbone, slowly going up. We have 24 vertebrae, so try to go 24 little movements. So each vertebrae has its own moment to shine. Open your chest, lift your head up last, take a breath. Big exhale, try to push away the floor a little bit more with both shoulders. And then drop your tailbone down. Same thing, nice and slow. A slow wave up your spine. You're gonna get all the way back into your flexion, head drops down last. And release. Nice, guys. Okay, so now we're gonna move into our little dynamic warm-up. So we're gonna start with some abdominal and glute work. We've got a little locomotion pattern with this as well, because we have 3 different movements. We're gonna do just 2 sets and try to move through these quickly. So we're gonna take minimal rest, okay? So you're gonna start with your dead bug laying on your back with your knees above your hips at a 90-degree angle. Flex your toes to your shins. And then press both hands into each knee. So you're creating tension by pressing hand into knee, knee into hand. Then from here, you're gonna lift your head and shoulders up off the floor. And now from here, we're gonna do same arm and leg, reaching out as you inhale. Exhale, pull back in. Alternating sides. Inhale as you extend. Exhale as you bring hand and knee back together. We've got 8 more reps. Trying to maintain the tension, pulling your rib cage, your lower abdominal wall in and down toward the floor. So if you start to see your abdominals start to poof up as your leg extends, maybe don't extend your leg as far or as high. You can always reach your leg out a little higher, and that will be less strain on your abdominal wall. Exhale as you pull in, you have 2 more. Inhale as you extend. Exhale as you pull in. Last rep, inhale. Exhale. Good, and rest. Nice. So bring your head back down to the floor. You're gonna press down into both feet. We're gonna go into a marching glute bridge. Find a posterior tilt of your pelvis and bridge all the way up. For this, I like to have my elbows bent and press my elbows down into the ground, trying to maintain that rib cage compression. So trying not to let the rib cage flare up toward the ceiling. Squeeze your butt cheeks as much as you can. And then you're gonna press down through your right foot as you bring your left knee up toward the ceiling. Slowly lower that down. Transition to the other side, so right knee up to your chest and lower down. Now you wanna try to keep your hips at the same height. We're doing 10 reps, alternating sides. Good, keep squeezing your glutes. Keep pressing your one foot down into the floor to keep your hips in that same extension. 4 more reps. You want to feel out your hamstrings and glutes here, so try to engage the posterior side of your legs. 2 more, guys, you got it. Keep breathing, last rep. And lower down. Nice. Awesome. From here, we're gonna go into a little modification of a burpee, basically. We're gonna go from a high plank into a lunge, stand up, and then reverse it and do the other side. And we're just gonna do it 2 times on each side, okay? So you're gonna come into a high plank on your hands. Your feet can be hips width distance, shoulders are right above your wrists. Now step 1 foot forward, then the opposite foot comes forward into a squat. You're gonna stand, squat again, right leg reaches back, left leg reaches back, back to your plank, okay? And now opposite side forward, so right foot forward, squat, stand, squat, and now right foot back, left foot back. Good, just 1 more time on each side, guys. So lunge, back leg comes into your squat position, stand all the way up, squeezing both butt cheeks, reversing it down, 1 foot back, and then opposite foot back. Other side, right leg forward, left leg forward, stand, back to your squat, left leg back, right leg back, and rest your knees. Nice. Okay, so we have 1 more round of all this, starting with the dead bug, okay? Grab a quick sip of water if you need it, but we're gonna go right into the dead bug. We have 10 reps, alternating limb reaches. So get on your back, bring your knees above your hips, flex your toes to your shin, hands press into your knees press into your hands. Pull your rib cage down to the floor, then lift your head. Now you're gonna inhale as you extend 1 arm and leg, exhale as you pull back together. Alternate sides. 8 more reps. Try to really keep the rib cage and abdominal wall from poofing up. You want to try to flatten it and wrap it in and down, almost like you're wearing a corset. Good, guys. Keep going with your breath. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you pull in. 2 more. Last rep. And rest. Awesome. Now we have 10 reps of the marching glute bridge. So press your feet down into the floor. Bridge your hips up. Really posteriorly tilt your pelvis and squeeze your butt cheeks. You can have your arms straight on the floor or elbows bent, fingers up to the ceiling like little robot arms. Okay, and then you're gonna lift one leg up, bring it back down slowly with control, keeping your hips steady. Trying to drive that standing leg's foot into the floor. You can exhale as you bring your knee in. Inhale as you lower. 6 more reps. Notice where you're engaging. Are you holding tension in your jaw and your neck? Can you release that tension and try to build more tension in your glutes and hamstrings? 2 more reps, guys. Last one. Both feet down and then lower your hips. Nice. Okay, next we're gonna go back into the high plank. So we have the high plank into the squat, all the way to stand, and then reversing it down, okay? So hands are right underneath your shoulders, and then bring your feet back, hips width distance. You're gonna step right foot forward into a lunge, step your left foot up to meet it to squat. Press and stand all the way up, squeezing both butt cheeks. Squat back down, left foot back, right foot back to your plank. And now alternate sides. So left foot forward, right foot forward. Stand and reverse it down, right foot back, left foot back. One more on each side. Right foot forward, left foot forward to squat. Stand all the way up. Squat back down, left foot back, right foot back. Good, and one more time. Left foot forward, right foot forward. Stand all the way up. Reverse down to your squat, right foot back. Left foot back, find your plank, hold for a beat, and rest. Nice. All right, guys, take a little water break before we go into our cardio circuit. So this cardio circuit has 3 rounds and 4 different movements, okay? We're doing sit-throughs, beast to plank, back roll to stand, and then we have a sumo squat into a lunge. So I'm gonna show you everything first, and then we'll get into our rounds of it, okay? So the sit-through pattern, we've done it before a few weeks ago. Actually, I think we've done it in 2 classes before during this quarantine. So it's your sit-through pattern where you're reaching one arm to the floor, tucking that leg under, tapping your butt down, reversing it, and standing all the way up, and you're gonna alternate sides, gently tapping your butt each time, and just go at a pace that feels good for you. If that is too complicated for you or it's not accessible for your body, come down to the floor and do little lifts up off the ground with one leg tucked under, lifting your butt and your leg by pressing down into your hand. And you'll do 20 seconds on each side for that while we do 40 seconds of the sit-through pattern, okay? Then we have beast to plank for 40 seconds. So this is the beast position with hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, curl your toes under. You'll have your knees lifted up off the ground, and then you're gonna walk 1 foot back at a time into plank, 1 foot forward at a time back into beast. Keeping your shoulders above your wrists the whole time so we're not shifting back and forth, okay? And it's just the legs moving in and out 1 at a time for 40 seconds, okay? Next, we have the roll to stand, which you're gonna start on the ground. You're gonna roll back with one ankle crossed over the other onto your back. Roll all the way up to stand. Switch your legs on the way down, so tucking the opposite ankle under so you can alternate sides that you're standing up on. That's the full pattern of it. If that is too challenging, use your hands to press yourself up, or just come up from the back roll to a little squat kneeling position, and you can alternate your legs as you roll backwards. Okay, so that's a modification. And then we have sumo squat to lunge, guys. So for this, you're gonna get down nice and low in your sumo. Hands are just gonna be up like you're guarding your face in boxing. And as we rotate our hips into a lunge, you're gonna punch that arm of the leg that's twisting to the side. Come back to center. Punch as you lunge, back to center. So I'm rotating my hip, but I'm also rotating my foot and bringing that heel off the ground, trying to bring my knee directly above or directly below my hip and keep my hips basically at the same height the whole time. If I get a little bit of up and down, that's okay, but we want to try to avoid lifting up and down a lot as we transition between the positions. Okay, so all that being said, I'll talk you through everything, so don't worry if you forgot what comes next. We got 40 seconds of movement, 20 seconds of rest in between. And we're gonna start with the sit-through pattern. We're gonna go in 8 seconds. So set up your legs nice and wide. In 3, 2, 1, and begin. Send your butt back as you bring your hand down. Tap your butt to the floor. Reverse, stand all the way up. And keep that going, alternating sides. Trying to do the best you can with keeping a sharp standing position and finding a really tucked in and small position at the bottom, right? So we're trying to get it compact and tight, just lightly tapping our butt cheek. 20 seconds left, guys. Keep it going. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome. 20 seconds to breathe and rest. And then we have beast to plank. So go ahead, get down on the floor to get set up. Here we go. Going in 5 seconds, set your hands underneath your shoulders, curl your toes under, lift your knees, and begin. Walking 1 foot back at a time, 1 foot forward at a time. Keeping your shoulders above your wrists the entire time that you're in this position. So we're not shifting our weight back as the feet walk back. We're keeping our trunk and shoulders stable. Yeah. Keep breathing, guys. Just 15 seconds left. Keep pushing out of the floor. We got it. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice. 20 seconds to breathe. Then we have the roll to the standing position or just the little mini roll to a seat, okay? Woo! Here we go. Going in 4, 3, 2, and begin. Roll. Stand all the way up if you can. Switch your legs. Creating a tight position with your roll. Try to pull your knees close to your chest so your abs engage as you roll back. You want to control your roll and not just flop around. So be mindful of your positioning and also be mindful of how you're pushing your foot down into the floor and using your butt cheek and your quad to help you stand up. Good, guys. Last 4, 3, 2, and rest. Nice. Take some time to breathe. Woo. Yeah. 10 more seconds to breathe, guys. Now we have our sumo squat to the lunge with the punch. Okay, so rotating our hips. Get down in your sumo position. And 3, 2, 1, and begin. Rotate and punch. And rotate back to your sumo. Try to keep your hips low. It doesn't have to be fast. We're trying to find a tight, engaged position and rotate our hip joint. Internally rotating, externally rotating. 20 seconds left. Keep breathing. $12 seconds. You got it, guys. I know those quads are burning. Try to stay low. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push up and rest. Woo! Oh yeah, jello-y thighs already. Take a sip of water. We're gonna go right into the second round. Here we go. Going in 4. Sit throughs next. 3, 2, 1, and begin. Bring your hand down, tuck the leg under, tap your butt, and reverse it all. Keep breathing. Find a pattern and a rhythm that feels good for you with your breath. Feel free to speed it up or slow it down. You don't have to keep up with me. And do what you can. Good, guys. 10 more seconds. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Come down to the floor. We got 15 more seconds to breathe. And we've got beast to plank next. Here we go in 10 seconds, so set yourself up. Going in 4, 3, curl your toes under, lift your knees, begin. Walk 1 foot back at a time, 1 foot forward at a time. And if you can alternate which leg you send back first, that's also an additional locomotion and body control level of engagement that you can get out of this. So just another level of awareness. But if that confuses you, don't worry about it. 12 seconds left, guys. Keep pushing out of the floor. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice. Woo. Okay, we got the roll to stand next, or the roll to a little mini seat position. Here we go, going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Roll back, keep it tight. Stand up, switch your legs. You might have 1 breath per roll. I have 2 breaths per roll. So I'm inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good, guys. 10 more seconds only. Keep moving. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice. Woo. Okay, take a few more moments to breathe. Try to take some deep inhales through the nose. We've got the sumo squat to lunge next. Going in 4. Get nice and wide. 2, 1, and begin. Exhales, you punch. Inhales, you come back to center. But keep your abs braced even as you inhale. Can you keep that tight core and fill up your diaphragm with more than just your belly poofing? Try to fill up the rib cage to the sides, the back body. 18 seconds left, guys. You got it. Try to stay low. 10 seconds. Rotating that hip, turning on the ball of the foot. Last 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! Oh yeah. Those rotations are really tough with that lunge and sumo squat position. We've got 1 more round of this, you guys. Here we go. And then we'll get a nice cool down in. Okay. We're gonna go in 10 seconds, starting with the sit-throughs. Get your feet nice and wide. Going in 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Reach one hand down, tap that butt, reverse it, and stand. Keep alternating sides. And this is our last round. So if you want to speed it up a little bit, go for it. But keep it nice and clean and keep moving with your breath. Good, guys. 15 seconds left. 8 seconds. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! Awesome. 1 down, 3 to go. Get to your beast position. We're going in 10 seconds. So take another few breaths. And then bring those hands right underneath your shoulders. Going in 3, 2, 1. Lift the knees and walk it back to your plank. 1 foot forward again into beast. Take your time. This doesn't have to be fast. We're working more on trunk and shoulder stability here. So it's not about going super fast and moving your legs in and out really quickly. It's about stabilizing your upper body. Almost there. 15 seconds. You can even hold in a plank if you need to. Keep actively pushing out of the floor. 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! I don't know about for you guys, but that one for me, the third set. Crazy. Okay, here we go, guys. Going in 7 seconds for the roll to stand. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Roll back and push to stand. You got 40 seconds. No matter what variation you're doing, try to keep your tempo consistent and breathe. Good, guys. Almost there. 15 seconds. Last 8. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Oh yeah. Here we go, guys. 15 seconds left to breathe. Take some nice big breaths in. And then we've got the sumo lunge. Here we go. In 5, get down low. Spread your feet nice and wide. 2, 1, and begin. Rotate through the hip punch. Come to center. If you feel like speeding it up a little bit, you can. But again, it's not about speed, it's about stability and moving with mindfulness. So try to take that into account. You want to hold full body tension, just like we had at the beginning during our mobility exercises. Everything should be engaging here. 20 seconds left. Almost there. 10 seconds, guys. You got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo, shake that out. Nice job, guys. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna finish up with a little bit of a cool down with some more hip mobility work and a little bit of some passive stretching. So grab a sip of water and then we're gonna come down to the floor. Woo. Okay, so what we're gonna do next are some hip abduction capsule rotations lying down on your side. So you're gonna lay all the way down, bringing your head onto your bicep and trying to stack your body in a straight line from your head through your feet. So just make sure your feet aren't in front of your hips. You want your ankles in line with your hips. Rib cage is gonna stay pulled in, and you're gonna try to pull the bottom side of your rib cage a little bit away from the floor so your obliques on the bottom engage. The top hand can just press down into the ground. We're gonna flex all 10 toes up to the shin, and we're gonna lift this top leg up as high as we can. Good, and we're just gonna hold here for about 20 seconds, breathing, trying to lift the leg, and really try to focus on where you're lifting from, trying to engage the outside of your hip and your glute medius. So if you can think of internally rotating your hip a little bit, so your heel's a little higher than your toes, you'll feel that in your butt cheek a little more. Good, last 3, 2, 1. Now lower the leg down, just take a few breaths. We're gonna stay on this side and do some little capsule rotations with the leg lifted up. So these are internal and external rotations of your hip. You're gonna lift that same leg up as high as you can again. Keep pulling the rib cage away from the floor. And now externally rotate through your hip, trying to turn your toes up toward the ceiling. And then internally rotate, try to turn your toes forward and down. Okay, we're gonna do 4 more, nice and slow. Externally rotate, internally rotate. Trying to keep your pelvis steady so you're not shifting your weight back into your left pelvis. You want to keep everything stacked. Good, guys. 1 more. Good. Now pause in the internal rotation. You're going to do 5 little circles of your hip, trying to keep the height of your leg as you circle slowly. And they're little tiny circles. 4, 5. Pause when you get to the top. And now reverse for 5. Keep everything else stable. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower the leg down. Nice. Awesome. Bend your knees. And we're just going to go through 1 hip car on this side with the leg bent, okay? So you're going to lift your top leg up, toes to your shin, pull the knee toward your chest. Abduct your hip up toward the ceiling in the bent position. Good. From here, drift your knee a little bit away from you and start to internally rotate through your hip, just like we did during the standing hip cars in the beginning. You're going to try to find as much hip extension as you can, driving your heel behind you. Try to hide your heel so you're fully internally rotated here. Hold for a breath. Try to keep the rib cage in as you push the heel back. And then exhale, start to lift the hip and the knee back up into your abduction. Get that knee up as high as you can. And then externally rotate through your hip and pull the knee all the way around in a half circle back toward your chest to your hip flexion and rest. Nice. We're just going to turn around for the other side. Cool. Starting with our legs straight. Okay, so stack and align your body in the straightest line that you can, head resting on your bicep. Lift your obliques a little bit away from the floor. Flex all 10 toes to your shin. And now lift your top leg up as high as you can. Try to turn your heel a little higher than your toes, so you're internally rotating that top hip. Good, and we're just holding here for 20 seconds at first. Trying to get as much engagement on the side of your glute and your hip as you can. Good, keep holding, 10 more seconds. Really try to drive it up, but keep pulling the rib cage away from the floor. And 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg down, take a few breaths. Okay, and now we're gonna go into those little capsule rotations and then the circles, okay? So you're gonna lift your leg back up, get to your top height, hold there, and now externally rotate through your hip, internally rotate. 4 more, go nice and slow. Feel out the rotation from the base of your hip joint, so we're not just moving our ankle and our lower leg. It's coming from the hip joint at the base of our femur. 2 more rotations. Good, you got it, keep lifting the leg. 1 more. Pause in your internal rotation, and now you have 5 little circles. Circling from the base of your hip, trying to keep the height of your leg. Make the circles small and controlled. Good, 1 more that way. Pause at the top, and now reverse for 5. Keep them small. Try to make them smooth. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top and then release down. Nice. Now we're going to go into the bent leg hip car lying here on your side. So keep your hips stacked. Keep the rib cage pulling away from the floor underneath you, hand pressing into the ground. Now lift your top leg up just a little bit and start to pull the knee in toward your chest. Then abduct your hip, bringing your knee up toward the ceiling. Drive it up as high as you can. Then drift the knee a little bit away from you and start to internally rotate through your hip, turning your foot back and trying to hide your heel as you drive your knee all the way down and into your hip extension, getting your knee in line with your hip joint. Good. Hold here, squeeze your calf toward your hamstring, keep pulling your rib cage in. And now exhale, start to lift that right leg back up to the ceiling. Get it as high as you can in the internal rotation. Then start to externally rotate through your hip. Start pulling that knee around in a big circle as you bring it toward your chest. Get it in as far as you can toward you. And then release. Nice, guys. From here, just turn onto your back. We're going to take a little thread the needle stretch for your hip because we just did all that glorious hip work. So let's take the right ankle, cross it over our right knee, and then lift your left foot off the floor and interlace your hands through your legs, bringing your fingers around your left hamstring. Now keep both ankles active, so flex all 10 toes up toward your shins. And try to press your right elbow into your right inner thigh to drive that knee out a little more from your body. And then maybe pull your left knee a little closer toward you. Good. Hold for a few more breaths and try to see if you can slow down your breathing. Take some nice deep and sweet inhales through the nose here. Long exhales out of the mouth. 2 more breaths. Good, release that foot. You're gonna bring your left foot flat on the floor, keep your right ankle crossed over your left knee, and let both legs fall to the left, taking a little modified twist here. So your right foot's gonna come flat to the floor and try to keep the knee facing up toward the ceiling. I want you to push that knee out and away as you open up through your hip and your torso. Bring your face to turn to the right and open up your right arm. Take 2 more breaths here. Nice big exhales. Great, slowly come back to center. And then we'll switch sides. So bring your right foot flat on the floor. Left ankle's gonna cross over the right knee and try to pull that left knee out to the side. From here, you're gonna lift your right foot off the ground and interlace your hands around your right hamstring. Hold here for 5 breaths, trying to keep the ankles active, trying to drive that left knee out away from your body as you pull your right knee toward you. Three more breaths. Good, and now bring your right foot back flat on the floor. Left ankle's gonna stay on top of your right knee, and you're gonna let both legs fall to the right, taking your twist. Try to bring your left foot flat on the ground with the knee facing up toward the ceiling, and then really twist through the rib cage, opening to the left. Left arm can reach out to the side, and you can even use your right hand to drive your thigh of your left leg away from you a little bit. Good, let's take 2 more breaths here. Good, and then go ahead, bring your legs all the way back up to center. And let's just bring both feet flat on the floor and then bring both hands to the sides of your rib cage. So we're just gonna do a few rounds of some, some slow breathing, trying to make the breath expand into your hands and the sides of your rib cage as you inhale. And then as you exhale, bringing the rib cage and the hands down and in as if you could bring your fingers closer together as you let the air out. Okay? And let's take 3 counts to breathe in. So breathing in for 3, 2, 1. And then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out for a moment. And then inhale, big sweet inhale through the nose. Exhale, big sigh out. Awesome. You can bring your knees into your chest and just give yourself a few rocks side to side. And then rock forward and back along your spine. Take a few rocks, coming all the way up to your shoulders and then down to your tailbone. And then rock up to a tall seat. Awesome. And we're all finished, guys. Awesome job. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the workout. I hope you were able to tune more into your breath and your body and that you got a little sweaty. Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you guys next week at 10 a.m. for this class with Mind Movement. And check out their classes throughout the week. They have awesome workshops. They have discussions on different topics, nutrition, mental health, all sorts of cool classes as well by other teachers. And then, yeah, I have classes throughout the week on Instagram Live. So check out my page on Instagram for the schedule. And yeah, I'll see you next week here for 10 a.m. Bodyweight Fusion. All right. Bye, guys.